Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 scale Scout Trooper from Star Wars. For the package, you can see a really nice image here in the front of the actual figure. The side of the box here has another pose for him, as well as Disney. The back of the package has the figure in a more neutral kind of pose. And then, like a lot of the Star Wars figures from Sideshow, you got a nice little magnetic flap that allows you to open this all the way up, and then on the inside you have the nice Star Wars logo there, as well as a really nice open window revealing the figure and all of his accessories. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it for him. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Guys, so here we have the Scout Trooper open up and out of its packaging, and while I didn't get the speeder bike to go along with this figure to kind of complete the character's look, the figure himself still turned out really very nice. One aspect that I absolutely love is that Sideshow nailed the costume on this, and the costume is so very key and iconic to this character. It just has a old feel. I mean, remember, the movie came out in 1983, so it's a fairly old movie, but it still has a very futuristic kind of look to it, and I think Sideshow recreated it very, very nicely. So starting off first with his accessories. Now, in addition to the two clasped kind of holding hands, he also comes with a right hand that's also clasped, but with a little bit more narrow of a grip. You can see a real nice sculpted detail throughout the entire piece. It's all done here in this black plastic, but the detail on it looks really very nice. I like the longer style gloves that he has. Again, very accurate to the movie itself. He also does come with a right hand that is done in a trigger figure sort of pose that goes nicely with his blaster. Comes with a left hand that just has him pointing his little index finger, and then a left hand that's kind of scooping, I guess, something like that. Now, in addition to those, he also does come with different options for feet. As you can see, he's got just the standard standing boot pose, I guess, and then you get another pair of boots that are sculpted with them bent a little bit more. It gives him a little bit more of an action sort of pose without putting on too much pressure on the actual boot. Now, these are made out of a softer material. As you can see, they're fairly, stretchy and everything, but you don't want to leave it like that, and obviously because of the stiffness of just the plastic in general, it doesn't really hold that pose or anything. It just springs right back down. So it's nice that they actually put that on there. It gives it a bit of a variety in terms of the poses that you can put them on, especially when you include this really cool display stand, which we'll get here in a second. He also does come with a little backpack thing. What this actually does, I have no idea, but you come around here and you got a little belt section. You just hook this on to his belt, and there we go, and now you have that kind of futz with it, getting it back up there where it's supposed to be, but that kind of completes the overall look for him. And then he also does come with his little blaster, very small but real nice paint detail on here. You got a nice black paint with some nice wash detail on there. Very simple but very cool. And then you got a little side holster here which just fits very nicely if you wiggle that in there, and you can put that right down there and kind of complete his overall outfit. And then obviously the other boot also has that as well. Now, this display stand here is what I absolutely love, and this works really good with these action boots because you can kind of get them positioned right there or something like that. But you got all these different pieces. This just attaches, and you can see when you remove all of it, it's just the standard Star Wars base that Sideshow has put out. You got the nice Star Wars logo here in the bottom. You got the adjustable cradle right there. But you got all these extra little diorama pieces that fit just around the edges, and I absolutely love it. You got some kind of old log pieces right here. Real nice paint detail and sculpting throughout the entire thing. Both of them are very unique and very cool looking, but then you see the bottom has individual peg sections. So you come around here and you can see that this piece right here is kind of in this shape. So that goes right there. You just wedge that right there, and then you got this one right here. Again, you got a unique kind of shape for it, so making sure I get that actually positioned. There we go, like that. And now you kind of fill out that back section, and then you got this piece that just sits right there, so that when you want to take this, you just kind of angle that around. You can position that right there, have him standing, and then again, if you have that boot, you can kind of put it there, creating a little bit more of a walking kind of pose. That doesn't actually look all that bad, but this looks a little bit more natural, as it would bend with him walking down from there. I mean, just in general, that's a cool addition to this overall piece. But for his accessories, that's about it. Now, one of the most iconic aspects of any trooper, regardless of what kind it is the helmet on them. And the Scout Troopers here absolutely looks terrific. You got that really cool, the extended section around the eyes, Great detail here for the mouth section. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the glossy paint that they used on the actual visor as well. And then you can see a real nice amount of wear kind of painted into it. Just gives it that kind of dirty and streaky kind of look. Overall, really very nice. You got some nice vents and everything here on the back. Great detail on the actual backpack section here. You can see some nice knobs and such with some nice silver and red paint. Great detail again on the actual plastic armor here for his shoulders and his chest. You can see some nice dirt kind of painted in there. The lower section here is made out of a cloth material. As you can see, that can also lift. These don't open or anything, but real nice stitching work on there as well. One part that I wish was a little bit different was the belt. Now the belt here around the main section is all a molded plastic. It's not hard plastic like this. It's a softer rubberized plastic. But then when you come around here to the back, you can see it's fairly loose on his back section here, which when it comes to actually attaching the little back section here, you can see it kind of makes the whole thing kind of droop down a little bit. So you're kind of futzing with it. I wish that there was a little bit of a Velcro piece maybe put on the front section here where you can tighten that. As you can see, you got the little plastic clasps right there, but there's a lot of slack on this. I wish that was a little bit tighter. It's the only real aspect about the suit that I don't particularly like. You got the nice cloth pants, you got the rubber arms, and then cloth underneath the little armor bits here as well. Nice knee pads. Again, you got that really cool paint variation that kind of makes it look like there's a windburn kind of look, and then very dirty boots, nicely replicating how they would probably look with him walking around on Endor. For his articulation, the head is on a ball joint. You get a nice range of motion there, kind of also go tickle, tickle, tickle. You got a little lower neck joint, so you get a full range of motion there. The shoulders here move in and out very nicely. They do rotate forward and back, but you kind of have to move the clothes underneath there to kind of get a more extended range of motion with it. He does rotate at the upper part of the bicep, but again, a little bit limited because of the actual costume underneath. It's fairly tight to the body, but if you rotate that around and then rotate the arm, you can get it. He does have, I think, two joints. Yeah, two joints here at the elbow, and I like how he's got these two elbow pads, so as you move it up, it kind of is like layered, so he gets a lot of protection there. I really do like that. Get that out of the way. Let's see. Does he have, I think he's got an upper ab, kind of, yeah, he does have a little ab crunch there, and then down here he's also got a waist section. It does rotate, as you can see, fairly decently, and then crunch forward and back. So you get a nice range of motion with that torso. The legs here move forward, they move back fairly decently, they move in and out, they rotate at the upper part of the thigh. He's got two joints here at the knee, and then the ankles are on the pegs that are very similar to the pegs that are used on the wrist. So they just do rotate, and then they do move forward and back, but it kind of depends on how you actually have that joint kind of position. And then if you want to get a more, ankle bent sort of pose, you just remove this, and then you got the whole section here, you got the little peg on the inside of the boot, so you just kind of futz with this, get that around there, and get that, and now you can have a little bit more of a walking pose, which again, like I said, is really very cool that they include that. Definitely gives a little bit more of a display option in terms of posing this guy. And then obviously as a 1/6 scale figure, you can see that he stands roughly about 12 inches tall, making him a really nice scale for the rest of your 1/6 scale figures. All in all though, Sideshow has done a wonderful job of recreating this character in action figure form. The sculpting for the overall suit, the paint applications, the articulation, everything on it really did come together very nicely. Now, like I said, the ultimate accessory form would probably be the speeder bike, but that is sold separately. For some reason, they didn't actually do a bundle pack, but you can buy this guy and then the speeder bike separately, and if you do that, you do get a bit of a discount. I don't remember exactly what it is. I think it's like $25 off. But I also think that that was kind of a smart idea. That speeder bike is really very big. In terms of dimensions, it stands at about 9 inches tall and is about 20 inches long. So not every collector is going to be able to display that. They're just not going to have the space for it. But they might want to have the speeder bike pilot. So this is a cool way to kind of break that up so you're not forced to buy both things. And one part about this entire figure that I really do like is the display stand. I think adding the whole, diorama scene kind of replicating Endor is terrific. One thing that probably would have taken it a little bit further would have been, instead of just giving us a straight black display stand, actually put some paint detail in there to kind of replicate ground cover. But all in all, it's a terrific piece. And for Star Wars fans, I absolutely would recommend this, especially if you're collecting a whole bunch of the troopers. The unique look of the Scout Trooper's helmet really is cool, and in my opinion sets it apart from a lot of the other different troopers. So all that being said, if this is a guy that you would like to add to your collection, he is available right now at Sideshow Collectibles. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of their 1/6 scale Star Wars figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please like and share it. Also be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you never miss a future review of mine. And as always, until next time, I'll talk to you later.